Hey, good evening, everyone. I wanted to take a few minutes to check in. There's an important deadline coming up in a couple hours at midnight that I wanted to talk about. But first, let's just recap. Virtual safe spaces are an amazing tool for self-care at home. We've thrown up a link here. It's vibrant.org/safe space. You can go there. They've got some great audio, some great graphics that you can play around with to kind of help you cope or distract or connect, depending on what you need at that particular time for yourself. So please go check that out. As always, if you need anything or if you want to talk or anything, we're always here to help. The other important thing that happened yesterday, actually, but it's going in place tonight at midnight. So Governor Lee issued a stay-at-home order that essentially does what Knox County and the city of Knoxville had already done here across the state. I will say that it was a little too small of an action, a little too late. This is something that should have been done back when Knox County and the city of Knoxville was doing it originally. So Governor Lee has shown again that he has failed at leadership. He's taken his cues a week or two late from leaders like Mayor Kincannon that are leading the charge through a lot of these orders and encouraging people to stay at home and closing businesses when needed. So super important. But I'm glad that is going into effect across the state. It's not the stronger shelter-in-place order that doctors have been calling for, but it is something. So it is a step in the right direction. The other thing that happened today was Knox judges issued a book and release order. So that essentially means that if someone is arrested for a misdemeanor, nonviolent misdemeanor, or nonviolent felony, that they will be released after booking. So it's a book and release order, and the goal of that is to reduce the amount of people that are incarcerated. What that did not do, that we're calling for, is to actually release people that are on pretrial detention and other things inside the Knox County jails right now, release them out on their own recognizance, and essentially do away with money bail, which is something we would like to have happen all the time. But it's specifically important right now because these facilities are places when the virus, when COVID-19 gets in there, we're essentially holding people hostage to the virus. So we need to also work on reducing the populations drastically inside of these institutions, inside of Knox County and across the state. So that's kind of a little bit of an update from today. The other important deadline is tonight at midnight is the first quarter fundraising deadline. That's super important for us, especially right now, as we've committed to pay our staff through the election, no matter what happens with the economy. We've retooled our campaign to focus more on doing wellness checks, getting out into the field and helping with nonprofits that are on the ground, like Sleeves for Needs, deliver food and push help out there to people that are being left behind traditionally and also under the pandemic and the guise of that. So if you are able, I know that right now is a tough time for a lot of people, most people, but if you are able to donate even $1, you would be joining a fight for progress. So if you are able, please do that right now. We've posted the link in the comments here, and it's also there on your screen. If you can't do that, but you still want to get involved, the great thing is we've partnered with a company called Blue Squad, and we've essentially got an app now that you can download, help us contact voters, help us tell them about our message of prison abolition, of the need for a Tennessee Green New Deal because our climate is in crisis, the need now more than ever to expand Medicaid, to expand healthcare coverage and access. It's not enough that you should have health insurance. You also need to have access to healthcare facilities and personnel and supplies, as we're seeing right now. Our message to also fully fund public education and give a real raise to teachers. Since 2009, when accounting for inflation, teachers in Tennessee, their average salary has gone down 4.4%. That means that teachers need a minimum of a 10% raise for it to really mean anything in their paychecks. Also, our message of hope and our message of saying we are here for people to raise the level of public compassion and empathy in our state. Right now, the supermajority, the Republican legislature, often talks about fiscal responsibility. That is not fiscal responsibility, what they're doing to the people of Tennessee. It is public negligence. There's no public compassion and empathy. And that's what our message is about. It's about caring for people. It's about creating an economy that is equitable to everyone. It is about providing people with their human rights of healthcare, their human rights of housing. This is what our message is about. If you can join us on Blue Squad, the app's in the Apple Store and the Google Play Store, or if you can donate anything today before the deadline, both of those I would personally appreciate. And you can get involved in the movement for progress and the fight for progress and to make Tennessee a state that is no longer at the bottom of every good list and the top of every bad list, but a state that is known the world over for being one that values human rights. Thank you all. Have a great night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Until then, stay safe,